are your resolutions for January going? Welcome to Repertory Company Theater's RCT360. This is episode number 38. I'm Deidre Sherm.
I'm Laura Alley.
And I'm Rachel Ratcliffe.
And ladies, let's just get right to it. This episode, we are going to call Sharing the Moments because we just want to take some time to look forward with positivity and encourage each other. And so I'm going to get right to it. We have a new segment. It's called Tea with Deidre. I'm going to go get my tea right now. All right, ladies, do you have your tea?
Ready?
You know Wonderful.
I do. Now, welcome to the segment Tea with Deidre, where I'd like to offer a spot of encouragement. And today I am trying a special ginger lemon tea. So snuggle in, get ready. Here we go. Well, what I wanted to talk about today for just a minute is our New Year's resolution. I mean, some of us are working on our working out and it may be going well in the first week. Who's to say? It's 2021 and everything's different, but this is what I wanted to offer you today. It's never too early or too late to start something new. Now, sometimes, ladies, we get tired, we're exhausted, we raise our kids, we get in a rut, we've been doing the same thing, and it feels like, don't you think, it's hard to start something new sometimes. So I wanted to give you a little encouragement. This encouragement comes in the form of talking about a few other people, like Colonel Sanders. Did you know that he did not start selling his chicken until he was 40? And in fact, did you know that Julia Childs didn't start taking her cooking lessons and write the art of French cooking, mastering the art of French cooking, until she was like 44? And then you've got Vera Wang, who makes her beautiful clothes. But before she did that, she was a journalist and an ice skater. And she didn't even start her business of fashion design until she was 40. And then, last but not least, Laura Ingalls Wilder did not write Little House on the Prairie until she was 65.
No.
Can you believe that? You can start something new. This year, I lived out a lifelong dream of writing a screenplay, and I'm almost 50 years old. So it's okay if you are in a place and you have something that you love and you want to start something new. There is a quote that is sometimes attributed to C.S. Lewis, and I'm not sure that he said it or not, but according to the internets, I mean, it's possible. But he said, you can't go back and change the start, but you can start now for a new ending. So ladies, take a sip of your tea, and I hope that encourages you. And for all of you who are watching, it's never too late. So enjoy.
Cheers, Deidre.
And that's Tea with Deidre.
Deidre, I loved that. My tea is a little bit too hot for me to drink right now, but I'm enjoying smelling it, and I'm enjoying thinking about, in that day in the far off future when I turn 40, I can start something new too.
Me too. I had that exact same thought. When I'm 40, I'll start something new.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Anytime's a new time to go. By the way, what kind of tea do you have there, Rachel?
This is white orchard tea. I enjoy a white tea, and this is a little bit fruity. Very pleasant indeed. 5 stars.
Ooh, I love it. Well, for the rest of this month, we'll have a little tea break for each show. So thanks for joining me, ladies. Laura, what do you have to share?
We would like to thank you for welcoming us into your home each week, and we hope to have some fun, creative ideas to share. To quote Mark Twain, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. And he's right. 2021 has opened up several avenues to brush up on your skills and gain knowledge without spending any money. Take free online courses on various websites and you'll feel so very empowered. In turn, you are more likely to feel content. Plano Arts and Events has free online art classes with instructions for painting and drawing each Monday at noon. Visit their Facebook page for details. Rachel?
Yeah, and with dwindling attention spans that we all suffer from today, it can feel very overwhelming and even a little bit boring to sit down and read an old book. But let me tell you, nothing is farther from the truth. If you are not an avid reader, revisit that, because there are few things more comforting in life than snuggling down under a nice fuzzy blanket, getting a nice cup of cocoa or tea, and snuggling up with a good book to read. So we thought it would be something fun to do in the new year to give you some good book recommendations. Our first recommendations comes from our brand new associate producer, Amy Samuel. Hi, Amy. We're so glad to have you with us, and we're so glad to get your book recommendations. Amy loves to read, and she says that she is mostly a series book reader because she likes it when the story continues beyond just a single book. But if she had to pick just a standalone book to read, it would probably be The Lake House by Kate Morton, which I have not read, but I've heard really, really good things about. So I am definitely putting that on my list. Thank you, Amy. And if you want to go towards the series books, it's hard to go wrong with Amy's recommendation of the Jack Ryan series. They're so good. And then I get to kind of think about like a young Alec Baldwin or a young Denzel and all of those really fun Hunt for Red October movies. Oh, and Harrison Ford, don't forget that too. A lot of Jack Ryans over the years. But the books, as good as the movies are, the books are even better. So the latest in that series that was originated by Tom Clancy is Shadow of the Dragon by Mark Cameron. So if you want to see what's up with old Jack Ryan these days, check that out as well.
That sounds lovely, snuggling under in this cold weather that we've been having here lately in Texas. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing. And of course, we can't leave here today with some of my absolute favorite sharing that goes on, and that's Rachel with her quarantine confessions. Take it away, Rachel.
Thank you, Deidre. And welcome once again to our very first 2021 installment of Quarantine Confessions. Come closer, but not too close. Okay, friends, I have a bit of another quarantine confession for you today, but first, I'm going to address an assumption that many of you may have. If you have seen some of the fine work that I have done, like in Broadway trivia and my amazing ability with dialects, you might just assume that I am good at everything. But let me tell you, friends, that is not true. I am not good at everything. And one of the things that I struggle the most with is giving criticism to people that I love and respect. Now, how does that factor into a conversation that we're having today on this show about encouragement and affirmations? Well, let me tell you, there are a lot of ways to be encouraging and affirming to our friends. Sometimes it is all positive. Think about when you're drinking red wine. Well, no, you're drinking white wine with your girlfriends and you're getting ready for a party, and every last one of them looks as good as they have ever looked, and their ex-boyfriends would be totally jealous because that's what they need to hear, and it's the truth. Now, contrast that with a different kind of night where you're drinking the red wine with your one best friend and having a heart-to-heart conversation with her about maybe she was in the wrong when she started that fight with the school crossing guard. Both of these are important conversations, and both of them can be their own ways of affirming and encouraging our friends. But you know what those have in common? Both of them have to come from a place of honesty and respect and love. So, friends, when I see you this year, and I really hope to see you this year, I will tell you that your butt looks great in those jeans because it really, really does. And with a little bit of heart and a little bit of gumption, I will summon up the courage to tell you that you need to call your mother and apologize for what you said, because I love you and I want you to be happy. And that, my friends, is my quarantine confession.
Thank you so much, Rachel. You always have the right words for the time. Well, now it's time to head over to In the Spotlight with Laura, and with someone who, if you've ever been Facebook friends or Instagram friends with her, you know she is literally the best selfie taker in the world. Take it away.
Today's In the Spotlight guest is an RCT stage icon. Please welcome to the webcast, Haley Ellis. Hi, Haley.
Hello.
First of all, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do?
Yes. Well, outside of being an RCT stage icon, which thank you for that. Oh my gosh, like high praise. Also, I apologize in advance because I'm training after this. So I've already had my pre-workout. So if I start talking really fast and rambling, just get the big cane, cut me off. But anyways, about me, who I am. So born and raised Texan, grew up about an hour southeast of Dallas. I was Miss Kemp 2002. Even though it's been almost 20 years since my reign, I still hold on to that title very tightly. So, you know, like you live. Now I am a marketing manager for a design firm in downtown Dallas, and I'm a big fan of Dolly Parton, Halloween, dogs, and heavy barbells, and Jesus. All of those things, that's me in a nutshell.
Very nice. And what do you do for a living?
Yeah, so I am a marketing manager for a global design firm. I work in our venue sector, so I help architects and designers put together proposals and marketing pieces to send out to potentially win us work. And so within our sector, it's assembly, performance, convention centers, a lot of pro sports. If you've ever been to AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, we were the architect on that project. Lots of other really big projects too. We just did Globe Life Field, the new home of the Rangers, and SoFi Stadium. Oh, almost forgot the name. It'd be terrible, which is out in California. And it's the home of the LA Rams and the other California pro football team that I can't remember their name.
Raiders, maybe? Do they move somewhere else? Okay.
I'll go with that. That sounds good. Please don't see me work. I'd be really mad. But that's what I do. I've been there for a little over a year. I love it. I'm very, very lucky to work with some really great people on some really exciting projects.
And has your line of work changed due to the pandemic?
Yes and no. I consider myself very blessed, first and foremost, to still be employed. I was with HKS for about maybe 6 months before shelter in place started and we all got sent home. So it was kind of awkward because I feel like at that point, you're still kind of learning the ropes, getting to know the people on your team and all of those things. And now all of a sudden, I'm doing it all from home and I don't have kind of that comfort of teammates around me that I can just kind of slide down to their cubicle and be like, hey, how do you interpret this? What would you do about that? So that was probably the biggest change and kind of biggest hurdle to get over. And then we, especially in the beginning, they really wanted to keep lines of communication open as much as possible. So a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of Zoom meetings, checking in with people. And you know, it was really weird when I never considered myself one of those people that could work from home. I was like, I like being in the office. I really like structure. And I was afraid that kind of working from home, I'd get lazy. Like I would want to, let me like Netflix over here while I work over here, you know? And so it's been a really good challenge for me professionally and kind of forced me to level up a little bit and not get too comfortable. And now it's like, I go into the office every now and again if I need to get something printed and out the door for a client. But outside of that, it's like, I can't imagine not working in my home office now. It's become such a I don't know, it's such a comfortable space. And like my dogs, I get to spend the day with my dogs. So, you know.
It's become the new normal, our new normal.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You're also, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you are an avid CrossFit, I would say star, because when I watch your stuff, I think you're incredible. How did you get started?
Ooh, good question. So I could go on for days about my love for CrossFit. I will try to keep this brief. This sounds really cheesy. I always, you know how you kind of always know things about yourself, and deep down, I always knew that I was a little bit stronger than the average woman. I knew that that was something that I could maybe take to the next level. But I was a chubby kid growing up. I was a heavier girl, and I wanted to be small, like the girls I cheered with. I didn't want to be, big, strong Haley. And then in 8th grade, we were in off-season athletics, lifting, and one of the high school coaches came up and saw me bench pressing, and he was like, "Hey, you're gonna join powerlifting when you get to high school, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," like I didn't know anything about powerlifting. I just know you lift, I was like, that sounds cool. And then I found out that it is by weight class, and because of my size at 14, you already have a million body image issues. I would have had to enter as a heavyweight or a super heavyweight. And it's like, what 14-year-old girl wants to identify as that? So I was like, I'm going to stick to cheerleading and theater, and I don't want to draw any attention to being strong. Like, I wanted to be a girly girl. I didn't want to be in the locker room, or not in the locker room, but in the weight room with the dudes. Like, I wanted to be the girls on the treadmill that they were checking out. And so for the longest time, like, I kind of always denied that side of who I was. And I would do like Zumba and body pump and, bodybuilding style, like dumbbell weights and stuff. But it just, every time I worked out, I kind of knew deep down, I was like, I can do more than this. I can do more. And so it got to a point where I said, okay, enough is enough. I'm putting my insecurities aside. And I joined a powerlifting gym. And I was there for about 6 months, and I loved it, but I still didn't feel totally fulfilled. And I met my boyfriend during about month 6 of training powerlifting. And Chris is an avid CrossFitter. He's just stupid fit and stupid strong still. And within maybe like our first month of just getting to know each other, majority of what we talked about was working out and our love of fitness, love of health. And it was during 2017, we're getting ready to open Greece. And he was like, I'm going to come to the Thursday opening night show. But if I come to Thursday opening night, you're coming to CrossFit with me, because I honestly think you're going to love it. Okay. And there's all those fears, especially when you first meet a guy, like you don't want to show, like, he's so fit, I'm not going to be able to keep up. Like, all right, whatever. So he came to Greece next day. So open Greece, get home, from opening night, and you're on that high, can't sleep. Next morning, get up at 4 a.m. to drive to North Dallas to Strong to do my first CrossFit class at 5 a.m. And I still remember the workout to this day. It was so hard. It was calories on the assault bike, thrusters, and burpee over barbell. And the owner, Gail, who I just still love to this day, have the utmost respect for. He's an incredible gym owner, just an incredible person. He was like, "You're new. I'm going to take you under my wing. We're going to scale this down. We're not going to just throw you into the fire." And after that first workout, in CrossFit, it's all about community, and people are cheering you on. So, all these people I don't even know are cheering for me and tell you, keep going, you got it. And I was hooked. And people joke about CrossFitters, especially in the beginning, like it's kind of like a cult. And so if there's like drinking the Kool-Aid, like I dove head first into the Kool-Aid. Like I was hooked, and I could not wait to be a part of this just incredible fitness movement. And so I stayed at my powerlifting gym for a few more weeks, and then joined CrossFit, and the rest is like fitness history.
That is incredible. What advice would you give to someone who wants to try CrossFit for the first time and maybe is a little apprehensive about it?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, just do it. Just do it. Just show up. I went through a really bad breakup about 7, 8, 9 years ago. And I had a sorority sister who did CrossFit, and she looked insanely good. Remember when Cher got really jacked? Yeah. That's what her arms looked like. She looked amazing. She felt amazing. She was so happy. And so she kept trying to push me like, hey, you like to lift, you like to work out, like this would be really good for you. And I said, no, I gotta get fitter before I go to CrossFit. Like it has this, this stereotype of people thinking they need to get in shape before they go to CrossFit. And it's just not true. It's not true at all. Do not be intimidated by what you see of CrossFit Games, those pro level athletes. They are incredible athletes, but that is their full-time job. And for, just regular everyday fitnessers like myself, I'm so glad that I finally kind of let go of that and just said, okay, I'll try. So I would say that's the biggest thing is don't be intimidated. The beautiful thing about CrossFit is that it's infinitely scalable. You're not going to walk into a box and a coach is going to approach you and say, okay, welcome, day one. Now let's back squat 200 pounds. That's not what's happening. They meet you at where you are and then you continue to get better. So maybe it's doing squats with an empty barbell. Maybe it's doing squats to a box. Maybe it's graduating up to doing a good air squat. You would be amazed at just the lack of technique that we don't even realize, people bending over, dropping your chest. And it's like, oh, why does my back hurt? Well, because you're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. So, being able to find what works for you is what I love about CrossFit so much. And I would say the second thing, in addition to that, is really seek out a community. Seek out a box that's right for you. Before I joined a box, and that was kind of one of the fun things too, when Chris and I first met, we would meet up on Saturdays. A lot of gyms do a free community class and we would just hop around. And when I found a gym that I just really vibed with, and I was like, these are people that I mesh with well, I really like this programming, I like this location, join it. You don't have to, it's not one size fits all, right? Like you find a box that works for you. And we're very lucky. We have a lot of really, really great CrossFit boxes in DFW. So many good ones. Actually, there's a really good one down the street from RCT that I have worked out at a couple of times.
Very nice.
Yeah, but I would say those are the two big things. Don't be intimidated. Seek out that community. And if you're downtown, come to Tiger's Den and work out with me in the design district. I would love to have everybody there.
That's incredible. Haley, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today. I know you're definitely going to inspire some people who are watching this to try CrossFit and not be afraid and just do it, because you are very inspirational. And we miss you. We love you. And it was so great to spend some time with you today.
I miss and love you guys. And I saw Adam's family is on the season for next year. So, Nurse Nancy, I might still have that costume if you need me.
You were adorable. So yes, I know the audience would love to see you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Haley.
Oh, ladies, I'm inspired.
She's the best.
She is, and she truly is the best selfie taker that I've ever known. Now, it helps to be as beautiful as Haley is, but
and crazy photogenic. Photogenic. She looks so good on camera and in pictures.
She was very inspiring, I will say. An encouragement to me to, go ahead and try the hard things. And that's what I hope that we've had just for this episode for everyone watching. We hope that you've gotten a little encouragement and some and maybe some courage to step forward and do some of the things that we need to do and in love. So ladies, here we are at the end of our show. Rachel, why don't you start wrapping up for us?
Well, thank you, Deidre. As you know, there are so many small businesses that are in crisis as a result of this pandemic. That is especially true for nonprofits, and it is especially true for theater groups like RCT. But we are thrilled to announce that we have raised $18,703 for our One Day More campaign. This is amazing. So many of you gave. I can't tell you, that is not the product of 2 or 3 big donations. That's lots and lots of little donations of individual people who have given out of their hearts, and we cannot be more thankful for that. These funds are going to be used for the bare bones essentials to keep our doors open a few days more. So thank you so much for what you've done for us.
And maybe you don't have a lot of extra funds to help out, but there are plenty of other ways that you can give back. Give life to the community. Donate to Carter Blood Center today. Whether it's at a donor center or a community blood drive, giving blood with Carter Blood Care gives people in your community the chance for life. When you commit to give for life as a Carter Blood Care donor, you give hopes to patients in need. COVID-19 antibody testing is now available for all blood donors. That's really great. And January is Donate Blood Month. So help if you can. Deidre.
Yes, that's a wonderful way to help. Thank you, ladies. I want to remind everyone that this week we were busy at RCT because we had auditions for our next season for the Rep Troupe, and hopefully we'll get a chance to introduce them to you very soon. But until then, stay safe, wear your mask, be kind, and like Rachel said, show some love. And don't forget, I am.
You are.
We are.
RCT.
T.
I'm drinking from my,
Oh, you're beautiful.
it is my Will and Kate official wedding china cup for their wedding. Official wedding china from all the way from England.
Wedding in old England.
I just got a new tea caddy, so I would like to use it.
It's like next level.
Oh yeah.
Next level.
Love in the moment.
It's like a coffee commercial.
Sharing the moments of your life.
Did I say resolutions?
You did.
Okay, New Year's resolution.
What do you think you said?
I don't know. It just didn't sound right in my head for a second.
Reputation?
Rachel, I want to see this tea caddy that Rachel got.
Right? It better be impressive for this amount of time, just saying. Because this thing is pretty impressive, and I've had this for a while. I mean, I don't think a Coke can would even go in this. It would just like, I'd have to like fold it down, roll it up like sushi. Poor thing. She's back.
Sorry, I got toddler intercepted.
Oh, that happens. Those toddlers.
I'm just gonna throw in a word for, I would love wardrobe sponsors. Just saying.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
So if anyone wants to support me some more hats, let me know.
Well, let's see who our sponsors today are. Emily Stevenson. Thank you. The girl with the beautiful voice. Love
she
her.
does. She's so cute.
And our very own John Stewart. Thank you, John.
Oh, I'm spilling my tea. I'm so happy.
We could not do this without John. You know that, right?
No.
We know.
We're aware.
There would just be 3 turkeys that were just yelling into computers.
We'd just be like this. So welcome to our show.
Welcome. Welcome so much to our show. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here.
I like tea.
John likes us. He really likes us.
Likes us.